Hello my beautiful friends, it's Petra E. Juicy and Green Smoothie Gangster, and I'm making this video for you about boundaries. We all have them. It's just a matter of if we're aware of having boundaries or if we are willing to look at what our boundaries are and when people push up against them. I think majority of our frustration or upset in our life is because our boundaries are being pushed by the external world, outside people, and maybe we're not quite aware of naming it as boundaries, but we're feeling something inside that just doesn't feel quite right. We're feeling like we're disrespected. We're feeling like we're not seen, that we're not heard, that maybe we just aren't having a good enough relationship with this person because something is getting in the way, and usually it's something to do with our boundaries. So I wanted to give you guys an example of something that occurred to me and share it with you, so in hopes that it can inspire you guys to really look at your own boundaries and start thinking about your life in the space and your feelings in the space that you do have these boundaries. Now, something occurred where few people have pushed up against my boundaries lately, and I'm quite aware of it. But this felt so subtle, and I wanted to be a nice person. And that's usually what happens when our boundaries get pushed, is that we kind of fear speaking up, or we speak up in some subtle way, but really we just want to be nice. We don't want to hurt another's feelings. So what we do is we take it. Maybe that anger wants to come out, that frustration, the I want to rip your head off wants to come out, but we just want to stay nice and we want the person to like us and we want to be amicable. So we maybe just sugarcoat it and kind of pretend that we're okay, but internally we're not. And it's eating away at us, or it's making us sad, and we're going to do one of two things. We're either going to let it rot inside of us, or we're going to be passive aggressive and perhaps say or do some actions that are just kind of giving that like indication that there's something not right. So I just really want to invite all of you to look at your boundaries. I know for me, this has been something I've been playing with this week. I thought I'm really good at that, but there was just two subtle things that occurred in my life where I just wanted to be nice and I wanted to be kind. And especially as women, we are told to be quiet, to be in the back, to not speak up, to not use your throat and your voice to speak your truth, but rather just stay complacent and stay nice. And that's all good, except that most of the time, if our boundaries are being pushed, we are feeling not happy on the inside. And like I said, if we're not able to look at that, if we're not able to help process that, then it's going to eat away at us in the inside. So I just want to invite you guys to really look at your own boundaries, to really look at what something doesn't feel right. It's okay for you to say so. You don't have to rip someone's face off and say it unkindly. But it's really okay to say, hey, you know what, this is actually pushing up against my boundaries, or this doesn't feel quite right, or I feel like you're out of integrity with me. I don't feel like you're being honest with me. I don't feel like you're treating me as a good friend would treat someone. So you're able to speak your truth, and I just really invite you to do so, because otherwise it's just going to eat away at you on the inside. And at the stem of most sickness, cancer especially, is unforgiveness and resentment and holding things in. So just want to open you guys up with your beautiful throat chakras and just speak your truth. Really look at your own boundaries and look at where you're being pushed a little too far, that feels a little too uncomfortable, and be willing to speak up for yourself, because that little girl or that little boy inside is just wanting you as the adult self to speak up and to, you know, speak your truth and to be able to stand your ground in what you believe is right. So I send you guys so much love. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you have come against your boundaries being pushed and what you've done about it, and if you're willing to start looking at your own life this way and start looking at where boundaries are showing up in your life. So much love to you. Aloha.